I matched my Tin Man Squishmallow today, and I'm 100% okay with that.
Pull my heart out of my chest, train my mind so I forget. Sink your teeth into my bones, dig me out then.
Hello YouTube and welcome back to the channel. So for today's video, we have a special guest. Here's Penny Wanny. Goodness, with the big stretchy. But today we are going to be talking about something that has been popping off on my Instagram For You page and some on YouTube, and I have heard has taken TikTok by storm. I'm not on TikTok. And it is the Walmart Birkin, or what is being known as the Wirkin. So I thought that since I have seen it all over the place, I would give my thoughts, since I talk a little bit about luxury and designer goods on here. So if you are interested to see what I think about it, keep on watching. So I think the best way to do this, I've actually found some comments from people, so I'm going to read those and then kind of share my thoughts with it, and then anything else I have to say at the end. So I actually found these comments on Instagram on Luxe Collective on their Instagram page. They are a luxury reseller that I follow because I love their content. They do a lot of informative videos about different brands and things like that. So anyway, I saw that they had these comments on there, so I took my favorite ones and compiled them, so we are going to read them. So the first one says, best comment about the Walmart Birkin. The Walmart Birkin is called a Wirkin because it's for the working class, with a skull emoji. And yeah, for those of you that don't know, Walmart is selling its version of the Hermes Birkin bag that is like one of the holy grail, if my ring light, fashion staple to have in your closet. And Walmart has their own version of it, and I don't know how it got started, but like tons of people kept reporting about it and buying it, and it's this huge thing now. And I've heard that some people say it's real leather, some people say it's not real leather, it's only $80, although other people, I've heard a lot of different price points too. You can't even find it on the website, because I've looked just out of curiosity's sake. You can't find it on there. Like, not only is it sold out, it's like it doesn't even show a web page. So I don't know how people are still getting their hands on it, but whatever. But it has been going crazy. So quick rundown of the Birkin. I am not a huge Hermes fan. If you want a very entertaining read as well as some information about Hermes, I would definitely recommend reading the book Bringing Home the Birkin. That was such a good book. I read that back in like 8th grade when I was really going through, you know, starting my designer kick. And it's a hilarious book. It's very informative. But basically, Hermes came up with the idea of the Birkin bag from Jane Birkin, who was an actress, I believe. Don't kill me if you really love her. But from what I can remember, she had met either the head of the company or the head designer or something on an airplane, and unbeknownst to her, she was complaining about her bag, saying that she wished that she had something that was big enough to hold all of her stuff but still looked chic. And they collaborated and came up with the Birkin bag. Now, to be honest, I don't know how it got to the place that it is now, unless you go on the resale market to actually get one in the store. You know, you can't just walk in and request one. Apparently you have to build up either a repertoire with your sales associate or spend so much money to get one. You know, people say that that's not really how you do it, but then others are like, yeah, that's how you do it. I think it's maybe a little bit of both. If you have a really good sales associate that you have a really good connection with, and you know, they know that you're good for the money, they'll probably offer you one. And that's it. You have to be offered one. You can't go in and just buy one like at Louis Vuitton, you know. I went in and said I wanted a Speedy, even though I was treated horribly, but that's beside the point. I went in and got it. I didn't have to request, like put in a request, or I didn't have to wait for them to offer me one. So that's with a few of their bags they do that with. Honestly, the one Hermes that I would want is the Kelly, because I love the shape of that bag, but it's another one you have to be offered. I believe that, I think, like I said, I'm not like huge on Hermes, but I remember reading that, you know, if you had the moolah and the status, you could go in and, you know, make your own, but you had to be on a waiting list for it and wait this long time for it. And yeah, so if you want a real one, probably your best bet is the resale market, but even then it is ridiculous how much those bags are. And that is coming from someone that loves designer bags and doesn't mind if she has the money to spend a pretty penny on a bag, because I know that it's going to last me a long time. But the cheapest being, if you're lucky, $10,000 for a purse. I don't know. I think I would rather take that $10,000, and if I'm going to buy a bag, I would buy several bags that I like instead of just one. Or, you know, that wouldn't be down payment on a house now. Well, maybe it would. I don't know. But that could be down payment on a car. You could partially pay off student loans with that. I mean, but I'm not going to tell anybody how to spend their money. If you got the coin, go for it. But I don't know. When I was little, I wanted a Birkin bag because of Rory from Gilmore Girls. But as I've gotten older, it's one of those things that if I ever have the money on the resale market, I would probably lean more toward a Kelly. And I would want that more than a Birkin. If somebody gave me one, I wouldn't like turn it away. But I don't know if I would spend my money on it. Anyway, that was a long-winded side rant. But that's like the thing with the Birkin. It's a status symbol, if you will, like the ultimate status symbol. If you have a Birkin, you've like made it, I guess, if you want to say that. But like it's a big to do if you have a Birkin. So people have been calling the Walmart version the Wirkin class, because from the videos that I've seen on a first glance, it looks like a Birkin bag. I mean, you know, there's nothing too flashy about a Birkin. You know, the logo isn't all over the place, but I mean, from the design of it, it looks like one. Is it real leather? I've heard it is. I've heard it isn't. For $80, I would say probably not, but you know, to each their own. But one thing that separates the Wirkin from the Birkin, which I actually appreciate, is that it has a shoulder strap. Because I like me a top handle bag. I think that looks very classy and it looks so chic, and sometimes it's just easy to put your bag over your arm and just carry it. But if I'm going shopping or walking around for a long period of time, I want a crossbody bag that I can just be hands-free. I don't have to worry about keeping up with it. So especially for a bag of that size, it does look kind of funny, but also I feel like it would be worth more money if it had a shoulder strap. But again, that would take away from the look of it. I don't know. But that is one thing that separates the Wirkin from the Birkin. So if you see somebody carrying what looks like a Birkin, but it has a shoulder strap, it's not one. You know, it's a good alternative if somebody wants a Birkin bag, but, you know, doesn't think that they'll use it a lot for what the price is, or they can't afford that, but they like the look of it. It's a great alternative. I think for me, as long as you don't go around saying that it is a Birkin bag, it's not really that big of an issue. But there's some things we'll get to. Actually, this next comment, I'll read it, and it kind of goes along with that. The Walmart Birkin debacle is tickling me. Imagine walking down the street with your $23,000 bag and someone asks if you got it from Walmart. I would die. And that's would be kind of disheartening if you've worked so hard to get this bag and you finally have it and you're so proud of yourself, and then someone's like, oh, is that the Walmart one? That would be kind of, you know, a letdown, but at the end of the day, it's not that deep. And that's coming from someone like, I would get offended if somebody thought that my bags were fake, because I did spend a pretty penny on them, you know, and they are worth the money for it and everything. But also, like I said, it's not that deep. It's not that big of a deal. Person said, I'm glad that Walmart created a Birkin dupe because these elitists act like no one should have nice things unless they spend a fortune. I kind of agree with that. I am of the mindset that you pay for what you get. So, you know, same thing with my tattoo. Some people balk at how much money I pay for a tattoo, but I want a good tattoo that is done well, that I'm not going to end up in the hospital with sepsis or an infection or anything. Like, I would rather pay a pretty penny for a good piece of art that's going to last me my entire life, instead of somebody halfway doing it and I end up like cutting my arm off or something because of infection. Hi. What? Wait a minute, I'll let you out. It's the same thing with bags. Like, most of the time you pay for quality. Now, can we argue that some of the fashion houses' quality has gone downhill over the years? Yeah, we can. And especially with the price increases, that's why I'm kind of leaning more toward the pre-owned market for some things. Do you want out? Look at that. Penny. At the end of the day, you pay for what you get. So I can understand, you know, to have nice things, you have to spend a nice price. But with that being said, I don't think that anybody should look down on someone else because they don't have the name brand of something. Now, if somebody carries a bag that says like Hermes on it, is claiming to be a Birkin bag, but it's not, yeah, I have a problem with that, because that is 100%, you know, taking someone's intellectual property and using it as their own. Can you also say that about the shape of the bag? Yeah, you can technically, but in my opinion, I don't think it's as bad, because it's not, it's trying to be one, but it's not at the same time. But I don't think that anybody should snub their nose at someone else, or, good grief, you shouldn't have to be offered a bag. If you're going to buy or spend that much money on it, you should just be able to go buy it. Like that. Okay, this next comment also goes along with that. It says, I have no interest in buying a Walmart Birkin or a Walmez. That's good. That's good. I'm addicted to handbags. Same. But I have standards. Also same. I'm not that impressed with the real Birkin, so why would I want a made in China Walmart Birkin that people are losing their minds over? People are so basic. Yeah, like I said, at the end of the day, it's not that deep. If somebody wants to buy one, let them do it. I mean, it's their money, you know, and, you know, I would rather somebody that's not sure if they want a Birkin buy like the Walmart version and realize that they don't like the style and only be out $80 as opposed to like $80,000 or whatever. So, you know, I don't think that that makes people basic. I mean, you can use that for a lot of things, like the Louis Vuitton Neverfull craze. So many people have that bag. It's become basic, but yet it's a staple. I think this is the last one. Yeah. Rich people being mad about Birkin dupes at Walmart, LMFAO. A lot of the time, y'all can't even tell if it's real or fake anymore. And to be honest, it's really based on how you wear it. Bag can be real and you just make it look cheap. Valid point. Very valid. And that's something even my mom tells me. She's like, make sure when you carry your handbags that you have a good outfit on. Otherwise, it just makes the bag look cheap. But again, at the end of the day, let people do what they want. But that is true that fakes are getting really good. And even I've read that some of these companies that are making these fake bags actually somehow get a hold of the material, or the real material that's actually used. So you could technically say it is, but without the brand, like it's the same material. Maybe it's not made as well, you know, like the craftsmanship, but they use the same material. People are studying these things, and there are some fakes out there that look good. And then, you know, there's the obvious ones. It's kind of like in your face fake, but you know, there's even some like designer bags that I would argue, you know, even though they're pretty penny, they look cheap. So I think at the end of the day, it's all about its opinion, maybe. So my final thoughts on the Wirkin. If you want it and you have the money for it, awesome. I hope that you can buy it and that you can wear it. Other places out there have one. Amazon has one like it. And I'm sure that other places like that have one. For me personally, for my own beliefs, you know, how I think, I would rather have a bag that doesn't have the branding on it, that looks similar, doesn't have the branding, so I can see if I actually like that bag. This is another point that I wanted to bring up. Brands copy each other all the time. Like Michael Kors is very infamous for doing that. Steve Madden is infamous for doing that. They'll take a silhouette that's popular and they'll make it their own. Some people say that they directly copy, but you know, I mean, what do you all think? Do you think that you can trademark a silhouette, or is it just the branding? But I mean, if you look like the Louis Vuitton Speedy, that, you know, even though the Speedy, that's like a trademarked thing, Gucci has their Boston bag. It looks like the same shape. MCM has that same shape. I forget what they call theirs. But, you know, there's different brands that have the same shape of bag. So at the end of the day, for me as a consumer and a fashion lover, as long as something isn't trying to explicitly say, you know, I am such and such brand, but they're not, then that's fine. Or, I hate to say this, but even like if a fake comes out and says this is a fake, like the people up front know it, I would rather know that ahead of time instead of buy what I'm thinking is a real one and it end up being fake. Does that make sense? But don't buy fakes. Chances are they're not going to be that good of quality, and it's illegal, so don't do it. But as far as the Wirkin goes, you know, to me, I think that adding a shoulder strap on it, that's a change that the regular Wirkin bag doesn't have. So could you argue that it's different, so it's not exactly the same silhouette? Maybe. And it's not trying to say it's Hermes. It's not trying to say it's a Birkin bag. It just looks like one. But let me know your thoughts. Do you want the Wirkin, or do you want a real Birkin? Do you care? Are you tired of seeing it on your For You page? I kind of am, to be honest. I'm just like, can we get over it already? It is not that deep. There are more pressing things in the world. You know, like COVID's on the rise again, the flu is on the rise again, and all I see is just talking about the stupid Wirkin. Like, at the end of the day, let people spend their money how they want, you know, unless it's something that's illegal or is morally wrong. Let them do it. And yeah, so anyway, if you enjoyed this video, please consider sticking around. I do a bunch of different content on here depending on what I feel like filming. but I mainly try to focus on tattoos, style and fashion, luxury goods, you know, stuff like that. And also check me out on Instagram. I'm a lot more active on there than I am on here, and you get to see more of me or a different side of me on there. And I'm also trying to post on shorts too, so any reels that I do on Instagram, I try to post them on here too, on the shorts. So yeah, but anyway, hit the like button if you enjoyed this video. Consider subscribing and sticking around, and with that, I will see you in my next video. Bye guys.
All that's left is a window to my soul. Come and get it.